Hey guys, so today I thought that we'd go through how to use NFS shares as persistence behind your CloudFoundry instance. It's a feature that the Dell EMC Dojo has been working on for a little while, a few months, and I thought the best way to do this was to showcase our Dell EMC Isilon. It's a storage platform that Dell EMC offers, works pretty well. We've tested it through with CloudFoundry. So to start off with, I thought that we could just first go through a few diagrams here to kind of understand what we're doing. So to start, we have a CloudFoundry instance over on the left. It has no applications, no service instances yet. And then on the right, what we have is we have a lib storage host, also with a service broker in front of it, EMC persistent service broker. And then that's connected up to two Isilons. You could actually have an Isilon, and you could actually use AWS, their elastic storage, or you could use Atmos, EMC Atmos, along with Isilon. You can hook this up to pretty much anything. You can also use VMAX. You can use a bunch of different storage platforms to provide EMC persistence with this broker. So once you have all this set up, what you're going to do is you're going to create a service instance. I'll go over how to do this with the CLI. So that's kind of the first step, is to create a service instance. What that service instance really is, it's a LUN, logical volume, on the array. Any way you want to think about it, it's a hard drive, it's a LUN, however you want to think about that. But essentially it's just a little disk on the storage that you're going to use in your application. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push your application, so it's actually going to start sitting on CloudFoundry. But at this point, the service is not actually linked with the application yet. So that actual disk that we created is not linked up with our application. So what do we have to do that? We bind it. So it's very simple. It's a simple command that we do. We bind the actual service instance, so that actual hard drive, to our application. And then finally, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how we can auto scale. So when we do a scale, say we want 3 instances of Kitty. Kitty's become a really popular app, and we actually need access to the storage, and we need 3 instances of Kitty, all with access to storage. That bind command will be automatically done for you. So whether or not it's on one single server, multiple servers, it doesn't matter. Because the auto bind will deal with all of that for you. Okay, so now we have kind of a basic idea of what we're going to run over. Let's go take a look at, let's go push our app. So here we have our CF app. We shouldn't have any apps in here, I don't believe. Okay, we have no apps. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that we have no services currently. So we have no services. And so what I'm going to do now is, if I go and look in here at the marketplace, the CF marketplace, you'll see I have an instance of EMC persistence, and underneath that I have an Isilon service plan. And you can see the description: it supports EMC Scale I/O and Isilon storage arrays for use with CloudFoundry. That's what this broker does, but you could make this broker work with Atmos, many other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check out the instance right here. And we can see that it has an Isilon service. It's Isilon, and currently it's free. You can adjust that per your admins. They'll charge, it could be a charge basis or it could be free. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create the service. And we're going to use the EMC persistence service. We're going to use the plan, the Isilon service plan. And then I'm going to just call it an instance of Isilon. That's what my service is going to be called. So right now this is going out and it's creating a volume on your Isilon platform, or whatever storage you're using. It could be a LUN on a VMAX, could be a simple share on Isilon. Since it's an NFS, it's just a simple share. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my application. So I'm in my directory under Kitty. It's a very simple PHP app. I'm just going to push that. And so now you can see that the app is in a running state. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go check it out. So let's go check out this app. I love kitties. So here's an app. Pretty cool app, but my app needs storage. What it's trying to do is it's trying to write to a file, but it doesn't work. Can't open the file to actually do any writing. So what we have to do is we have to go and actually bind that service. So remember, if we come back here, we're going to bind that hard drive, right? So by looking here, we have the service and we have our app. So I'm going to bind to Kitty my Isilon instance. So I'll run that. And then, of course, we have to restage. Restage just essentially adds the volume to the application. And then our application should find it once this is all done. So now if we go back, check out our Kitty app, let's refresh this. Now you can see we still can't open the file. That's because the file isn't there for reading it. But what you can see is now we have interesting environment variables. So we have this whole EMC persistence, we have a container path, var vcap store, it's got a UUID generated in there. And so that's actually our service, okay? This is our service instance. So what I'm going to do is I can say persistence box. What this is going to do is it's going to try to open that thing, and it's going to try to write a file. And so you can actually see that it wrote the file, and it actually stored data. Because now if I come back and just refresh this page, and we're reading from the file, we can see that we've got more data in there. I can say, now let's add something else, data 2. And now we have data 2, along with what we had before. So we just keep appending. A very simple app keeps appending to a file inside of this device. So we basically, at this point, we have a hard drive connected to our application, and we're persisting data. Okay, but now the next step is what if I want to scale, right? CloudFoundry is great for scaling. It's a very simple way to take your app from one instance, say it gets really popular, and now I have 100 instances. I need 100 instances running. It can be difficult because what we have is we have a hard drive sitting behind 3 different applications reading and writing at the same time. So the way that we can handle this is through an NFS share. NFS deals with multiple people reading and writing at the same time. So what I'm doing now is I'm just simply scaling up my instances. So now I have 3 apps. If I do cf app kitty, you should see I've got 3 instances going on. They're all running. And so now if I take this, let's refresh, you can actually see that this IP here is changing, and we still have the same exact data. That shows that what we're getting is we have multiple servers running. These are bare metal servers running on Rack HD actually, but we have multiple servers running that have containers on top of them that are all sharing the same hard drive, all orchestrated with CloudFoundry. And of course we could scale this back down, scale it up to 100 instances if you want, how many ever you want. So you can see it's got multiple, and you could, of course, you can read and write from all of them. So I can add test 3. This is from node 63, and now notice test 3 got added, and we're on 64. We're reading from 64, and we still have that data. It's pretty cool. Again, this is NFS shares on CloudFoundry using the Dell EMC Dojo service broker.